This week on Great British Menu, 3 of London and the South East's finest chefs. Seasoned pro Adam Byatt.
That's worth winning then. Let's crack on.
His one-time sous chef and talented newcomer Tom Sellers.
Well, that works better for me, if you're under more pressure.
And returning contender Adam Simmons.
Thank you.
Are battling it out for the honour of cooking at a banquet at the magnificent St Paul's Cathedral to commemorate the 70th anniversary of D-Day. Yesterday, Tom Sellers scored a perfect 10 for his main course.
A 10.
Putting him back in the competition. All 3 chefs are going into the dessert course on equal points.
I don't worry about what's going on around me. I focus on my thing.
Whoever scores the lowest will be out of the competition.
I am having a nightmare. I might not have a full dessert to put on a plate.
And each chef is doing everything to make sure it isn't them.
Keep calm and carry on cooking. That's what they say, no?
This year, the chefs are remembering D-Day and the soldiers who fought for us on the beaches of Normandy 70 years ago. Their challenge to produce patriotic dishes that tell the story of wartime Britain.
Looks like blood, sweat and tears has gone into this one, Chief. Wow.
Inspired by first-hand memories of the Second World War.
And Jerry used to come over the trees, machine gunning and bombing. You just ran for safety wherever you could get.
Very brave.
Judging them this week is Great British Menu's most successful chef, 3-time winner Richard Corrigan.
It's really tough in that kitchen. There's 3 chefs on the same score. I'm looking for some great desserts. It's their last chance to impress me, and impress me they must.
So, Tom, how do you feel? You got a perfect 10 yesterday.
Giving me a lot of confidence and maybe just that bit of energy I need for today, you know, to go into the dessert.
I kind of thought we might end up down to the pudding, and of course we are.
Whoever makes the mistake today, that's going to be the telltale factor of who goes home.
Confident you put?
Yes.
Confident?
Yes.
Good.
Confident?
In me? Yeah.
First up is determined newcomer Tom Sellers. After a disappointing start, he scored the first 10 yesterday with his classic but perfectly executed main course. He has to hit the mark again or he's out.
Dessert is always difficult. I'm hoping that if I execute it right here, which is a big ask in itself, but I'm hoping if I do that it'll reap the reward. Morning, Richard.
Good morning. Title of your dish?
Winston Churchill's treat box. Obviously, the guys picked up on indulgences that he had. So, the main ingredients here is whiskey, cigars, beer, chocolate.
All your ingredients here. What have we here?
So you got different textures of chocolate. We're going to make a chocolate soil. We're going to make an ice cream with the beer.
Beer is notorious for not making a very good ice cream.
It is, and I can't tell you how hard I've worked on this beer ice cream.
Well, tell me, how?
Mark 27 is the one that we're going with today.
27?
And hopefully, you know, you'll see the hard work today. Going to make a parfait with the whiskey. You know, this one takes me a little bit out of my comfort zone.
Do you think you're in with a fighting chance?
I am nervous. To succeed, you have to be prepared to fail.
Or win.
Exactly.
This could be your D-Day.
I really hope so, Richard.
Tom Sellers' dish is a very complicated dessert. Beer, for example, is notorious for not tasting of anything. Whiskey, too much can destroy a dish. Too little, why bother using it?
Next up is second-timer Adam Simmons. After winning the first 2 courses, he didn't quite hit the brief with his main, scoring a disappointing 7 and throwing away his lead.
I can come back from this. It's anyone's to take, but it's going to be mine at the end of the day. I'm going to go through to the judges' chamber on Friday and then get to the final banquet.
Give me the title of your dish.
Logan's Legacy.
Logan's Legacy, what is that?
He was a colonel in the American Army, and he was responsible for the chocolate bowl that the troops had. It was an energy bar. Didn't taste very nice, but I've reinvented it, so it does taste nice.
talk to me.
I've got some chocolate moulds, so what we do is temper the chocolate, line the mould, then into that I put evaporated milk and condensed milk foam, so it's like a marshmallow.
Do you think the veterans of D-Day will find something familiar about your chocolate bar if you were lucky enough to get there?
I think if I am lucky enough to get there and the veterans see it, then they will understand it.
Adam Simmons' Logan's Legacy does sound a novel idea, but is it going to deliver substance? I really hope he knows what he's doing. I'm very concerned that it just might be just another chocolate bar.
Last up is experienced chef Adam Byatt, who bagged his highest score yet for his Winston Churchill-inspired main course and is determined to plate the winning dessert, so he'll cook for the judges tomorrow.
I'm taking myself right out of my comfort zone because I think I have to win this now. It's all level. If I don't raise my game here and take something else to the table, who knows, I'm going to go home.
Good morning, Adam.
How are you?
Very well, thank you. What's the title of your dish?
The title of this dish, Richard, is Victory. So now we're at a stage where the D-Day landings were successful and we moved back to Britain with what I think is the most quintessential, amazing pudding that this country's ever come up with, which is apple pie and custard.
What have we here?
We've got beautiful British Cox's apples. We've got some vanilla, tiny bit of cinnamon, just to give a hint. We've got all butter, beautiful puff pastry. There are influences from France, tartare and caramelised apples and all those incredible things from Normandy, brought them into what I think is our apple pie and made it into a 21st century version with a few surprises.
We like your surprises. Adam Byatt is doing some kind of apple pie and custard. Maybe there's a trick up his sleeve. Can he deliver that dessert that's going to bring him through to the judges? Only time will tell.
Michelin-starred Tom once again has an inspirational Churchill quote for the kitchen.
Perhaps it is better to be irresponsible and right than to be responsible and wrong.
Do you think that's good for you today?
I like that, Tom. Very fitting for today, I think, isn't it?
So the final banquet's at St Paul's. I think that makes you more determined to get to the banquet because it's such a spectacular venue, no?
I think it reflects who we're cooking for.
That's worth winning, then. I best crack on.
Seasoned pro Adam Byatt nailed the brief yesterday and is determined to score highly again today with his aptly named Victory dessert. He's given away little about the dish, but is starting by making a frozen custard.
So, Adam, what's your dessert?
Apple pie and custard, Adam.
And have you practiced it?
I assure you, I have cooked more apple pie in the last 2 months than I've ever cooked in my life and ever want to again. But they have not all been the same version of it.
So you're feeling under more pressure then, Adam?
Yes, Tom.
Well, that works better for me, if you're under more pressure.
I focus very much on what's in front of me. I don't worry about what other people are doing. I don't worry about what's going on around me. I focus on my thing. I'm drawing from all of my years of classical cookery and just understanding what an ingredient behaves like under certain pressures. And I think my palate will help me along the way here. I really do.
In contrast, returning chef Adam Simmons has relied on experimental cooking techniques all week to bag him points. And for his chocolate orange dessert, he's making a technical pâte de fruits, an orange jelly sweet. And he's using his favourite liquid nitrogen once again.
What are you making this time?
Orange and evaporated milk bonita. You could do it in a freezer. It causes too many water particles.
Yes, every housewife should have this in her house.
He also needs to temper chocolate for his chocolate bar, but has run into problems.
I'm going to have to find somewhere else to do it because it's too hot here.
The chocolate must be melted and cooled to specific temperatures to give a glossy finish and snap to the chocolate bar. But the heat in the kitchen could result in a dull finish and white patches.
So it's great danger of going grainy in that kitchen.
My worst nightmare.
And what about the moulds?
Obviously it says Logan bar.
Hopefully this is going to be just more than a bar of chocolate, yeah?
Ambitious first-timer Tom Sellers is also making a chocolate bar for his Winston Churchill-inspired dish with layers of whiskey caramel and whiskey parfait on a malted chocolate biscuit base. He's also preparing textures of chocolate, soil, custard and crispy. After overly complicating his starter and fish courses, he got the balance just right for his main, and he's aiming for another perfect 10.
It's definitely do or die today, you know. I don't think the other two guys are going to score badly, so I have to score well. Everything rides on this dish.
So, Tom, how's everything?
I think now it's just about staying focused. I'm so conscious that so many people have failed on dessert or fallen down. I don't want to join that list of people.
It's the pressure that got to them, by the way. It wasn't their dessert idea, it was the pressure.
Yeah.
They made just fundamental errors in the very end.
Tom's about to reveal a secret weapon he hopes adds authenticity to his boozy chocolate dish.
Beautiful beer. It's tasty, eh?
It's very nice.
So this is the beer that Churchill got flown over to the troops on the Spitfires. Essentially, it was the beer that fueled the troops to win the battle. Hopefully, it's going to fuel me to win the dessert.
After the D-Day landings, Kentish ale was sent to British troops in Normandy to help boost morale. To make this unusual operation possible, the ale was flown in specially adapted barrels via Spitfires. The original brewery closed in 1965, but the yeast was preserved, and today nearby Westerham Brewery and brewer Robert Wicks have resurrected the recipe.
We recultured the yeast in order to recreate the flavours of the beer, because we believe that the liquor, the water, and the yeast is about 80% of the flavour profile of the beer, and we can recreate those flavours with the same liquor and the same yeast as the old Black Eagle Brewery.
Fantastic.
Tom's used the original wartime beer in his ice cream recipe.
Well, it's certainly carried over those malt flavours, and you definitely know it's made with beer. Done a fantastic job.
Thank you very much.
One of the beer-carrying Spitfires is now a flying memorial at Biggin Hill Heritage Hangar in Kent, a key RAF base during World War II.
Wow.
Historian Robin Brooks showed Tom around.
Churchill actually often came to Biggin Hill to see his boys, his few, as he called them.
It's not known whether Churchill himself ordered the sending of the ale or whether it was attributed to him as positive propaganda.
As regards the beer, it was carried over in underslung tanks under the wings, which were actually fixed under here.
Yeah, I think it's very inspirational.
Very, very inspirational indeed, yes.
For a better sense of the wartime atmosphere, Tom also met with ex-RAF serviceman Bernard Salter.
I was here during the Battle of Britain in 1940 on 92 Squadron,
Amazing.
the Spitfires. My job was flight mechanic.
Always under threat.
Oh yeah, Jerry used to come over the trees, machine gunning and bombing. You just ran for safety wherever you could get.
Very brave.
At the time it was a job and we did our job.
I feel very lucky to be sitting in this. It makes cooking sound easy, to be honest. Coming here today has really made me connect a lot more with the brief. It makes me feel very proud and, you know, it really puts a lot of meaning behind what we're doing. You know, it's a privilege to be involved.
Tom's beer ice cream is chilling in the freezer, but he's having problems with the other alcoholic element of his dish, his whiskey parfait.
The cream just split for the parfait, so I'm just remaking it now. I'm under pressure for time because of it, but I'll be there. I won't fail.
But in the heat of the kitchen, the mixture splits again.
Yeah, I'm under massive pressure. My whiskey parfait's gone wrong twice. Keep calm and carry on cooking. That's what they say, no?
On the other side of the kitchen, experienced Adam Byatt's making pastry cones for his victory dessert. He stuffed apples with apple and raisin mix, apple brandy and frozen custard before encasing in puff pastry. Adam has so far been guarded about the elements of his dish, but Richard's keen to get to the bottom of the mystery presentation.
So when you put the layer of custard on, what, like a...
It's inside.
You turned it into a jelly or something, was it?
No, just frozen.
Frozen,
Yeah.
inside the apple?
Yeah.
Do you think the dish has enough in it to say, yeah, this is a fantastic dish to get to the banquet?
It's got a really nice 23rd century twist to it, but it's also going to deliver memories of home and comfort food. And
What is that?
it's a surprise.
Adam is trying to keep it a surprise, but, you know, cones are only used for one thing, and that's putting ice cream in.
Rival Adam Simmons is in for a nasty surprise. He's made his chocolate bars by filling chocolate molds with evaporated and condensed milk mousse and evaporated milk jelly before sealing with chocolate. But they won't come out.
I am having a nightmare. For some reason, the chocolate's stuck to the mould. So now I've got to put it in a blast chiller to see if I can release it like that, and we'll see what happens. I might not have a full dessert to put on a plate.
Adam can only wait. Any mistake could result in a low score and see him out of the competition. First to plate up and banking on his victory dessert, proving just that, is seasoned pro Adam Byatt. He tops his baked apple pie with a decorative leaf and dusts with icing sugar. Adam serves custard on the side. Finally, the surprise element he hopes will give him the winning edge. He pipes vanilla ice cream into cones, served with a flake in a spice box.
There we go.
So, Adam, is this a Great British dish for the Great British menu?
I think it is, Richard, yeah.
And the ice cream?
Yeah, so we've got 99s on the side in a little spice box with all the spices that we then brought back after the war.
Well, let's taste it.
Enjoy, of course.
Do you think that would work at a banquet before it would melt?
It would need to be made, frozen like that, and then added in at the end.
I think for a banquet, this isn't feasible, do you?
No.
And the custard?
Yeah, it's in there, Richard, yeah. Poke around a bit, I think you'll probably get it. There's more here if you like more here.
There was supposed to be a layer of custard.
I mean, I can see a little bit of it.
Remind me again the type of apple you used here.
Cox, Richard.
Yeah. Do you think the apple is cooked through?
I do, Richard. You've got that soft-centred apple compote in the middle, then you've got the fondant in apple that's sat on the pastry. And yeah, for me, they're absolutely cooked.
It looks to me as if the apples, some of the apples collapsed. I think Adam will be disappointed with this.
Is it enough?
I think I've done enough, Richard, yeah.
Out of 10, what would you score it?
I think it's a 9.
When I watched him dress that apple, it made me nervous slightly.
The same for me.
But then seeing it and eating it and him trying to push it further might actually be his downfall.
Only if ours work.
Richard gave nothing away. He ate an awful lot of it. And I ate it, and I think it was delicious, so I'm happy.
Simmons, leave that closed, man.
Returning contender Adam Simmons has been chilling his chocolate bars to harden them. Time to plate up. He has to remove them from the moulds, or he won't have a dish to serve.
Thank you.
Happy?
I honestly thought, seriously, I didn't think I'd have a dessert to put on a plate.
Logan's legacy is Adam's last chance to score big. Everything rides on this dish. He starts with the problematic chocolate orange bar, then scatters orange jelly sweets, orange segments, and aerated chocolate. He tops with edible silver leaf wrapping, finishing with evaporated milk sorbet and milk and orange granita.
So, Adam, you got there in the end.
Just.
Is this a slice of edible history?
I think so, because it's to do with the Allies, you know, and the Americans in particular.
Come on, let's taste it. What have I here, then?
Got a chocolate aerated bar, evaporated milk ice cream, and then fresh orange.
What do you think, Tom? What's your initial thoughts on it?
It looks a bit small and dainty.
The filling in the chocolate bar. Are you happy with the consistency of it all?
It needs work on it.
The filling's a bit gummy for me. I know it's supposed to be marshmallowy, but it's quite... I don't know if that texture works.
Do you think it's a bit too simple to be a great legacy D-Day dish?
I think technically it's very good. Looking at it, the simplicity of it, for sure.
This was a great idea to get basically a story of the Logan bar told on a bit of paper so that every guest can know exactly what the story is.
He's even put his face.
His ugly boat race in the middle of there,
very funny.
Out of 10, give me a score.
6.
Have you done enough?
With a 6, probably not 9.
I don't see this dessert as a threat to me.
Okay.
But we both know he's a good cook and there's some great flavours there.
For me, it's slightly style over substance. Hi, Adam. Are you all right? How'd you get on?
It wasn't right at all.
You weren't happy with it?
Didn't deliver what I know it can deliver, and that's the problem, eh?
Last to fight for his place in the judging chamber is talented newcomer Tom Sellers, with his dish of Winston Churchill's favourite things. Into a whiskey presentation box, he pours a layer of chocolate custard and tops with chocolate soil and chocolate crispy. His chocolate bar, made with whiskey caramel, chocolate biscuit and the problematic whiskey parfait, is covered in edible gold leaf and placed on his textures of chocolate. The beer ice cream is spooned on the side and topped with smoky salt. The final touch is smoke from the beer hops, pumped into the box for a hit of aroma when opened.
Would it make King, Country and Prime Minister proud?
Yes, I think so.
Let's taste it.
Let's.
Would this be a treat for Churchill and a treat for the veterans?
I think he'd be really happy to eat that. It's all his favourite things put into a box.
He's pulled out some nice presentation there.
Yeah, it's good. No, yeah, lovely.
I like
It's
it.
good,
Are you happy with the consistency of that parfait? Would you change anything? It gave you a bit of trouble inside, this one, didn't it?
Yeah, it split on me twice. But I think the flavour's there, the foundation's there.
Parfait, is it a parfait or is it a mousse? For me, it's
That's
more
a
of
mousse.
a mousse.
That's a gelatin set mousse.
Yeah.
The beer ice cream, Tom, are you happy with the...
Yeah, I really am. You get that really raw, hoppy flavour.
As a beer, it was lovely. And the concept of this dish with the whiskey, it's just like a kidney punch.
portion size? Would you change anything?
Yeah, I'd make the bar smaller because it is a rich dessert.
I don't think we could finish that. Do you think? Would you agree or not? I mean, it's just so rich, it's so big. Maybe for Churchill.
Maybe, yeah.
Big guy.
Do the flavours complement each other?
Yeah, I think so. The only way this was going to work was to go big flavour with big flavour.
It's just too punchy and in your face.
There's some bold flavours in it.
Do you think you've done enough to get through to Friday?
I really hope so. I couldn't have done any more.
When it came up to the pass, I thought game, set and match for him.
Yeah.
Then when you eat it...
Now you feel a bit more confident.
I'm not going to lie, it's pleasing.
Yeah.
I could still be in the running.
Yeah, it's pleasing for me. How'd it go?
I'm not sure.
We said at the beginning of this course that the person that makes the mistakes is the one that's going home. I made mistakes.
I made mistakes too. Cheers, boys.
Yeah,
Well done
cheers.
for a good week.
Cheers. For a good week, thank you. I really enjoyed it.
May the best man win.
Good evening, chefs. It's been a great week with some very high scores. However, only 2 of you can go through to the judges' chamber. I'm going to start with you, Adam Byatt, and your victory dish of apple pie and custard. The vanilla ice cream and custard were good. The pastry around the apple was beautifully caramelized and well cooked. But I think you could look at another variety of apple for that dish.
Okay.
Something with a bit of tart. And was that apple thoroughly cooked? I didn't think so.
Okay.
I didn't really get the custard inside the apple. This needs a little bit of work.
Understand.
Adam Simmons, your Logan's Legacy of dark chocolate, orange and milk. A lovely idea, a homage to our American allies. It would be a real treat for the veterans at the banquet. The evaporated milk sorbet was good. And the chocolate casing, it was very fine. But your portion was tiny. Again, the filling in the chocolate bar was a little spongy. Too much gelatin.
Okay.
But it was a spot-on brief. It certainly needs some tweaks.
For sure.
Tom, your Winston Churchill treat box with whiskey parfait and beer sorbet. I thought it was a fantastic concept. You've done your historical research. I like the beer ice cream, but God, was it rich.
Yeah.
That bar, I think it was a little bit too big.
Agreed.
The filling wasn't perfect. And that whiskey parfait, you know, a bit too strong a whiskey maybe. You need to watch your technique if you ever cook this dish again. So now for the scores. With a score of 7, putting them through to the judges is Adam Simmons. So how do you feel?
Well done, mate.
A bit speechless, to be fair. I'm delighted, obviously, to go against these two and to get through is a massive achievement.
So, 2 chefs are left, both on level pegging. Only one can go through to cook for the judges. Adam Byatt, I'm giving you a 6.
Okay.
Tom, I'm giving you a 6. So it's a tie. In the event of a tie, I need to review both menus. Who really nailed the brief? Going through to cook for the judges is you, Tom. Congratulations. Guys, it was so close.
Well done.
Adam, commiserations. Take care.
Thank you.
Tom and Adam Simmons will cook for the judges tomorrow, meaning Adam Byatt must leave the competition.
It is what it is, Tom. That's happen. I'm really disappointed, but I'm really happy for Tom, and I wish him all the best.
It's a bittersweet feeling for me. Adam Byatt is a former employer, a friend, but of course I was here to win, so I'm proud of myself. Now it's about turning up tomorrow and absolutely smashing it.
I am so happy that I'm cooking for the judges again. This time, I'm going to go further. I've got a second bite of the cherry tomorrow, and I need to take it with both hands.
Tomorrow, Tom and Adam will cook their entire menus again.
For me, it's like lamb to the slaughter.
Yeah?
And I'm going to stand and enjoy that.
But with the judges expecting their finest hour...
It's the closest we've ever seen it.
Wow. Stonkingly good pud.
Which of the chefs will be left shocked?
Really?